I was writing my script. I was actually, I can see it in the background. I was, I was writing about like, what are possible things that could go wrong when I made this video, and I thought that was one of the things that would happen. Am I lying? Am I like a psychic, bro? See, mindfulness it taps into your third eye.
Today's plan was to chase one of the quietest moments in human nature, the blue hour. But I had to be entirely and fully present for it. So I gave myself a mission. And that mission was to create a palette only using the earth around me. Each element will be a point of focus, an anchor to the present moment. Each element that I choose had to have a specific emotion that I attached to the journey. You get what I'm saying? Like, each element had to reflect an emotion in me while taking the journey. So, will I be completing that challenge, or am I just chasing my own tail? Today on Expat Lifestyle. All of this, the walking and the searching, is to find one peaceful moment of serenity throughout the day. The blue hour is the 20 minutes before or after the sun rises or sets. So right when the sun goes down, there's like a 20 to 40 minute window where the sky is just blue. But as you'll see in my chasing the blue hour journey, the sky was just a mix of all these different colors. And that's a moment, the blue hour is a moment that you really have to get present for. Like the sky kind of just takes all the awe out of you. You really don't have a choice but to like engulf yourself in that. So my mission today was, how can I like make myself even more present during this moment? So I looked for 4 specific elements and I turned them into paint. I figured I would start off the journey looking for stuff basically in my backyard. I was pretty certain that I could attach an emotion to something that I found in the everyday life of what I see, But the craziest thing happened because I started to notice that I wasn't just searching, trying to lead up to this one moment of clarity. Like, I was starting to get that while I was searching. I was starting to see things in a new lens. Like, things started to look brighter. They started to like take on a new form of life. And you'll even see that in some of the clips that I took of footage while I was out. But I kind of just started to become more aware. Like the flowers, they sung a different tune. But a butterfly I would see on a typical, it wouldn't ring to me. But while I was on this journey of like really trying to sink my teeth into something that could lead to a moment of clarity or lead to a moment of awe naturally, it just kind of came all together. So yeah, the first thing that I did end up finding was a flower. And that flower, it was like standing by itself. I was walking, it was by itself, growing by itself. It was fully bloomed. And I could tell that there were maybe some other flowers that were gonna sprout around it in the next couple days, but this one was fully bloomed by itself.
Well, I have to attach an emotion. Jeez Louise. I have to attach an emotion to this flower, and I guess the emotion that I would attach from one of my principles would be the silence principle. This flower was literally sitting there on its own, and I was starting to worry if I would even find a flower that like had the hues that I needed for this project. So yeah, it was sitting there all on its own. It was quiet. It was beautiful. It didn't scream for attention, but it was there, and I noticed it. So I guess that's beautiful within itself. Shout out to finding this flower, man.
The next place that I wanted to go look for a natural element was the beach. I'm a water sign, so I love anything that has to do with water, creeks, lakes, rivers, beach, ocean, I'm there. And you can find all sorts of cool stuff at the beach, which is what I did. When we first got there, I saw this like burnt piece of wood. Someone probably had a bonfire.
I did find the first element when I got here. It's rubbing off on my hands. I think this will be pretty good for our black element.
Yeah, so when we first got there was there was actually a couple burnt pieces of wood, like someone had a bonfire. And I guess that kind of resonated with me because I can attach that to the principle of mine with storytelling. What do we do when we're by a bonfire? We sing songs, we listen to stories, we kind of create a story, even sitting there enjoying that with people that we're there with. So that was the emotion that I attached to that. And I also felt like grinding down a burnt piece of wood would help in the long run of trying to create something that we could put on canvas.
All of this blue, yet I still can't find any. I'm trying to find like a dark blue pigment, or I don't know, like dark blue, even light blue I could work with, because maybe I can add some of the dark to it, the black, and turn it darker. I should have brought my color wheel, guys, but I'll be able to find something too.
Yeah, so after we did a little bit of exploring on the beach, had a great time. The water was beautiful. The sun decided to come out. It even I was actually worried for this video, guys. Almost everything that could have went wrong probably did. You know, when you're planning to do something, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I start to think of a lot of things that could possibly go wrong, and it pretty much did. While we were there, the sun barely shone. There was a dead pigeon on the beach, which I was like, I hope I don't see any dead animals, and there one was. He's still almost in perfect form, so it was kind of heartbreaking to see. What else happened? Oh yeah, the paint. We'll get to how the paint mixed and all of that later. But while I was there at the beach, a couple of things did go wrong. But I felt like when you have a plan and a mission, you kind of find workarounds and keep that positive, optimistic spirit, and you'll be able to reach the outcome that you maybe didn't want, but it's the one you get, and you appreciate the journey that you took to get there. And so the sun did decide to come out for a few seconds, which felt amazing. So I started to get a little more hope about different elements that I could possibly find on the beach. So while we're walking, we spotted these purple little shells, and they were really delicate. And I thought maybe I could fry these up and turn them into like a purple kind of paste, because I think purple is a hue that could go into the blue hour. Blue hour looks different everywhere you are, different times, different places. But purple, that could go into almost any piece, especially the color purple that it was. So I found a bunch of those, put them in the bag, and yeah. And the principle that I could attach the purpose seashells to would be that art is a mirror, you know. I'm not really sure what these seashells belong to once, where they come from, but I'm sure they're obviously a part of the natural ecosystem, but they were beautiful regardless of their technical function. They were gorgeous. Art is literally a mirror. If you can find art in the everyday from something like standing on the beach, then you should be able to find it every day in an office where you work, you know? So that I thought they were really cool, and they tied into the story pretty great.
Should I add this to my rock collection, guys?
Once we came upon the rocks that were in the beach, I thought that it was a very good opportunity to get some like vibrant colors off of them.
Why are you using your hands?
Well, I have hand sanitizer.
No. Wait.
Is it poisonous? Don't do that.
Turn the bag inside out.
Better have to test anything.
There you go.
Oh. Yeah, that should be enough. He's like, don't touch with your hands. It might be poisonous.
Could be. You never know.
So there was this seed grass that was kind of on them. I picked some and put it in the bag and was like, you know, this should be easy to grind and turn into green paint, right? One would think. Well, that's what I thought at the time. So I was feeling great leaving the beach. We got really great shots, and I got all of the elements. The emotion that I attached to the art was that nature is a vessel. Nature is a vessel for us to connect with ourselves, to remember again what was once forgotten. There used to be a time where we sunk our toes into the dirt and we weren't scared about the possibilities that could come with it. And taking the moss off of that rock reminded me of that. Just like the human nature of finding, exploring, and just reconnecting with what once was. So yeah, once I got home, it was crunch time to get this paint and grind it out before I missed the blue hour. Unfortunately, I did miss the sunset, which I'm not upset about. I kind of see the sunset almost every day, and it's beautiful. That view that you guys are gonna see, I kind of see that pretty often. So that view that you guys will see, it's not the first time that I've seen it. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, but I really want you to focus on that blue hour. So that's why I didn't include the sunset. Maybe one day we'll do another video, but the sunset is really pretty from that vantage point. It was crunch time trying to get the elements rounded into the paint that I needed. The only one that kind of worked with the color and consistency, I would say, was the burnt wood. It was easy to just crack it off, grind it into a powder, turn it into a black water paint kind of made. The flower was pretty easy, but instead of a dark purple, it was like a really, it looked like a really dark blue when I added the water and the paint, but it was really just a super light gray when I started painting. You'll even see that. The canvas itself is pretty small, but I think we should be able to do it. The flower was really giving me some deep pigment, so I think I'm gonna lead with that. The grass, the one that I actually thought was probably gonna be the easiest to grind was the seagrass, and it was the hardest. It didn't grind up into a paste, it didn't grind up into anything that I needed for paint. So, what I have is just the green moss, ground up as small as I did it. But I was able to find, but when you have an optimistic mindset, you're kind of able to find workarounds. What else? The seashells, when I grounded them, they ground up really fine and neat, but they just didn't turn into a paste. It was a really pretty purple, and it just kind of was these granules, I guess you could say, purple granules, which were still really pretty, and I still wanted to include it to the piece. So as the blue hour arrived, I laid out my palette, and my entire day's journey was sitting in these 4 little sockets of my, my palette. Now, like I said, there was some technical issues grinding up the paint and getting into the consistency that I thought I wanted. So I kind of just had to roll with the punches, guys. And as I painted and took in the emotion from the sky, I realized that it wasn't about perfection. It was about expression. And that I was giving a voice to the journey of my day. Did I have that solid moment of clarity that I initially thought I was seeking? I wouldn't go as far as to say that, but I definitely learned. I learned a lot. And in the end, my palette was more honest than I ever thought that I could anticipate it being. The painting as well. And I think that the end result, that's the real clarity, That it's not gonna always be a perfect line. That it's not just about finding the symbols and working it together. It's about how we respond when our plans maybe crumble or when things don't go as expected. How do we channel who we really are and find a positive way to work around these things? I think that was the lesson that I learned today, and it was really beautiful. Like it may sound basic saying it out loud, but once you go on this day-long journey to paint something and capture something like how you think you will in your mind and it doesn't turn out, but the end result was still beautiful. Like you kind of learn to appreciate the journey more than the end result. The peace that we're searching for is that quiet connection that we make within ourselves. When we have the courage to embrace the messy, to embrace the truth, to embrace the beauty, that's what it's all about. Well, obviously, I would love to encourage you guys to try chasing the blue hour for yourself and just see what you learn, either about art, either about paint, about silence, about nature. I would say music, paint with music, you know? But if chasing the blue hours is maybe a little bit much for you guys, then I do have some things that you guys can maybe resonate with, or start taking these steps for your own, you know? So the first thing that I encourage you to do is to just find something in your house that you have a story with, that you can tell a story about something that you found in this house. And I want you to write that story down. Maybe where you bought it, where you found it, how it was given to you. Just write that story down, because sometimes the object itself isn't what we hold value. It's the story, how we got that said object, you know? Another thing that I would encourage you to do by using music to help connect you to your journey, if you could think about a moment in your life right now, what soundtrack would that moment look like? You know, what song do you connect with the current activities or what events that you have going on with your life right now? And I want you to listen to that song. And I want you to say it, and it might even be different than what you thought, you know? You'll find just a song that resonates with where you are in your journey. And listen to it. And then the next I would like for you to do is to find the color here. I want you to find one color that best resonates with your emotions today right now. Maybe you're feeling blue. Maybe you're feeling yellow and happy. I don't know. Maybe yellow doesn't even mean happy to you. But find a color and explain why that color resonates with your emotional state, your current emotional state. And then we're moving on to the fourth, which would be our nature selection. And I want you to find a natural plot around you. So whether that's grass, sand, dirt, I want you to take your shoes off and put your feet in it for 2 minutes. Or if that's too much, you can go for a minute, but touch some grass. I had my shoes off at the beach yesterday and I enjoyed it. I might walk around in the grass today, but find something and put your feet in it, okay? And then the last principle that you can choose to apply to your journey today will be the silence principle. And that one is always, you're gonna sit in silence for about a minute, and I want you to listen to what your intuition is telling you. Well, until next time, folks, I actually had so much fun filming this video. Please feel free to share in the comments which principle you practiced today. If you did practice one today, don't forget to subscribe, because like I said, this is your journey. I'm just here taking the steps with you. Stay la vie, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you're watching this at the beginning of the day, if you're watching this at night, enjoy your evening, guys. Until next time.